on the bike. Try to focus on myself. The heart rate is high, the breathing is high. Sometimes you battle with somebody else and there's tensions, and the adrenaline of it is something unique.
Monster Energy Supercross ready to drop the gate on the 450 championship. They battled all year from coast to coast. They're set to settle it here in Vegas.
This is Supercross, the motorcycle racing series that fills stadiums across America. At the final round of the 2018 season in Las Vegas, it all comes down to the main event, where one racer will ride off with a championship bonus worth more than $1 million. This year, the field has narrowed to 2 men. Current points leader Jason Anderson simply needs to finish in the top 10, and the championship is his. That is, unless one other racer finishes first. For the controversial French Supercross star Marvin Musquin, it's all or nothing. But Musquin better watch his back, because Eli Tomac aims to spoil his run at the championship. Even if Tomac wins the race, he won't have enough points for the championship or the big money. But revenge? Some would say that's priceless. The sport of off-road motorcycle racing, or motocross, debuted in England in the 1920s. By the late 40s, it had invaded the US, and in the early 70s, the sport moved into stadiums, where it became known as Supercross.
For all the champagne, glory, and gold, we're underway!
By the 80s, it was a national obsession.
Right next to him!
It inspired movies,
Winners take on the hottest racing movie of the year,
video games, and garnered lucrative sponsorship deals for the sport's biggest stars. For today's Supercross athletes, the goal is pretty much the same: win races and collect checks from sponsors.
Welcome to Sam Boyd Stadium here in Las Vegas for our 2018 Championship Weekend. I'd like to begin today by bringing out our athletes who are going to fill out our stage. First up, the rider of the number 25 Red Bull KTM, Marvin Musquin.
One of the sport's biggest stars is 28-year-old Marvin Musquin from France. On his last trip to Vegas, he hit the jackpot.
Marvin Musquin wins all 3.
8 months earlier, he won the Monster Energy Cup and a check for $1 million after winning all 3 main events.
What's your mindset coming into tomorrow night's race? One of the most controversial finishes this season.
Half a lap to go. Musquin sees his opening, smashes into the side of Tomac, takes him out. The crowd not happy. They were booing Musquin.
Musquin's move at Foxborough got him the win and pushed him into contention for the championship. But it pushed Eli Tomac even further out.
Eli, just take us through and what happened out there.
Lap and a half to go. Then we come around off the finish line, down the straight, and then I just got blasted from the inside in that second turn. It was out of nowhere, and it was a cheap shot. So,
Marvin,
what?
Your response to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about what happened. You know, with the crash. I mean, it could have been, you know, bad for me too. So, you know, for a 450 win main, you know, you sometimes you gotta try your hardest. And
But it's like, where do you draw the line? Like for a super aggressive pass, that pass was over the line.
yeah, that's racing. You know, sometimes we could talk about stuff like that, you know, a long time. So things like that happen, you know. The mindset is the same as last weekend. Want to do my best and see what happens.
I'm born on the motocross track. My dad used to race and my brother as well. Every single weekend I grew up going to the races and to the practice track, and from that I knew I wanted to be a motocross racer.
Along with racing, Marvin has always had another constant in his life. His wife Mathilde, who travels with Marvin on the grueling Supercross tour.
We've been together since we were 15. Back then I was working for a French magazine for motocross with kids, and I just happened to interview Marvin, and that's how it all started. We became friends for a while and then starting dating, and that's it.
Thanks to her consistent presence on Marvin's social media,
Thank you.
she's become a star in her own right.
She motivates me, she keeps me on track, definitely. She takes care of me every single day, and she's always supportive, good days and bad days.
Before the championship event, the racers get a chance to inspect the track and get in a few practice laps.
I think people don't understand, what the athlete actually goes through on a motocross bike. The cardio part of it is pretty intense, and their heart rates are around 180, between 170 and 180 beats per minute. So we've got to condition the athlete for that.
You want to be as fast as you can for 20 minutes, so definitely if the breathing gets too high or you can't relax, then it's not good. So because of the heart rate being so high, you have to be have a really good endurance.
Marvin! 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 Marvelous Marvin, we love you! 25 right there!
Definitely what happened in Foxborough is following me right now. The crowd was a little tough on me, a lot of booing, but I had really great feedback from my fans. Like I said, I really try to focus on myself, and that actually got me more power.
Let's hear it for Marvin Musquin.
And he was introduced to the crowd here in Las Vegas tonight. A chorus of boos rained down on top of the French rider.
Before the main event, the riders in the 450 class compete in preliminary heats to determine their position at the starting line. Eli Tomac would go first.
Heat one, let's drop the gate. Tomac falls way back.
Tomac stumbled out of the gate, trailing big behind the Australian former champion Chad Reed.
Here comes Tomac closing in on the outside, but can't get past him just yet.
But Tomac soon gained ground on Reed.
And just like that, Eli Tomac gets past Reed.
Tomac came from behind to win his heat. But would he have anything left in the tank for the big race? Then it was Musquin's turn.
Here we go. 450 heat number 2.
Even with overall points leader Jason Anderson on his tail, Marvin Musquin never looked back and won the race with ease.
All right, we've got one more championship to go.
The main event is comprised of 20 minutes plus one lap. First across the finish line wins. All Anderson needs to do is finish in the top 10. But if Musquin wins, he takes the trophy.
Jason Anderson, Marvin Musquin, and Eli Tomac looking to be a spoiler on that number 3.
Anderson holding steady in the top 10, it would be a game of cat and mouse between Tomac and Musquin.
Musquin coming after Tomac. He's got to win here tonight.
Musquin getting even closer to Eli Tomac.
Musquin stayed on top of Tomac
He's getting closer.
until he ran into some trouble.
Well, now look at this as they went through some lap riders. Musquin gets held up a little
Musquin
bit.
for sure,
Look at
yes.
that. Can Musquin make this time back up? Does he have it in him to try to win this final main?
Eli Tomac opening up right here. Marvin Musquin trying to keep that gap.
But the gap never closed. Thanks to the speed of Tomac, there was just too much separation.
Eli Tomac takes the win in Las Vegas, the final one of 2018, as he makes his way around on the final lap. The 2018 Launch Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Champion is Jason Anderson.
When there is like a bad moment or a race that doesn't go well, I know right away what's going into his mind. I hate for him to have that feeling, you know? I hate it. So I just want to console him as much as I can and just to tell him like it's gonna be okay. Like there is more races and it's okay to have a bad one.
I knew it was going to be a tough main event. My goal was just to keep charging and to keep pushing and yeah, man, racing, it's crazy. Like anything can happen, and in the last few rounds, we were able to fight for the win. So that's really important, and looking forward to the future.
Thank you, guys.
Jason, would you mind holding that trophy up one more time for all the people in the crowd with the big screen? Here we